Okay, today is July 13, 2014. Let's take a look at some of the stock. First, let's take a look at some of the tech stock that is scheduled for earning report next week. And the first one up is Intel. Intel is scheduled to report earning after the close on Tuesday. And you can see, Intel will have a pretty heck of a run in the last month and a half or so. And it seemed like it's kind of pricing for some perfection. And in addition to that, let's go back to look at on a monthly basis and take a look at where the price level is in reference to some historical price level. You can see the level that's currently at right now was last seen back in 2004, back in February 2004, and the next likely resistance level was somewhere around 3450, 3445 area. Okay, so you can see that Intel been performing pretty stellar in the last few months. You can see that as soon as it broke out of this level of 27, it just kind of shot almost straight up. So next week's earning seems to be expecting some kind of perfection or very positive on the outlook for the business to come. If anything falls short of expectation, then there's a good chance that we could see, some disappointed trader and probably sell this thing off, and it could very well come down and maybe test this 2950 level. Get into this price gap here. So just kind of bear in mind that some of these semiconductor stock had a heck of a run up, and the next one is SanDisk, and SanDisk is scheduled to release its earning report, its earning on Wednesday. Again, if we take a look at on the weekly chart on SanDisk, you see how parabolic it has become. Right? And in addition to that, if we go and look at the monthly, and you can see the level, it's already exceeded that Y2K price level, that price surge back in year 2000. So you can see that right now that definitely, a lot of these stuff is being priced in. And if anything short of perfection, I think these stock is, at risk of being sold off. So we got to be careful on that. Not saying that it can't run up, but, certainly, unless they have some very, very positive business outlook, then expect the unexpected. That maybe just because sort of like buy on rumor, sell on news. So if they are expecting good earning, and the good earning come, then they basically sell off of those news. So don't be surprised that's what's going to happen. But so again, just a little bit of a heads up. Not saying that it will get sold off. It's just that you have to prepare yourself, and that's why it's very tricky to trade through earning. And that's one of the reasons why I did not trade through earning. But that's me, So whatever suit you, that's fine. Right? So, and then the next one that we want to look at is Yahoo. Yahoo is reporting on Tuesday. Right, the same day as Intel, and you can see Yahoo. The option market is pricing in a move of, plus or minus $1.50, and that implies, based on the Friday close, maybe move up to somewhere around the 37 to down to 34, depending on what the result from its earning and what the sentiment is. So essentially, it's basically looking at possible move up at this particular baseline here. Right, and essentially up to this trend line, and on a negative result, then it could sell off and come down to this particular support level here, this pivot somewhere around this 34, and it might be also could come down and test this support level if this trend line, if it turned out to be negative or disappointed by the market or something like that, then it could be sold off and sell off down to this somewhere around this 32 area. But for now, it's pricing in to get up to somewhere around 37 or down to 34. Okay. So then the other one is eBay. eBay is also reporting on Wednesday along with SanDisk. And you see eBay, it's actually got a lot of pretty positive price action on eBay. And right now the market is pricing in a $2.10 move plus or minus. So that based on the Friday's close, it put it somewhere around, the 53.60 or $54 on the upside, or 49.40, or basically 49 on the downside. All right, so essentially, it's essentially coming up to fill this price gap here. Okay, if it's on the upside, okay, and it could come back down and retest this particular, pivot level here. If it's on the downside, or it might even come down and we test this particular pivot here. Because right now, if you look at eBay, right, this low here is kind of held above this particular low, so that's a positive. And here it's also making a higher low, right? Okay, that's the other positive. And also it broke this pivot here, when it got above that. And then last Friday it kind of gap out and broke this particular baseline. So it seemed like it's working itself up to this particular level, somewhere around this, 52, 30, 52, 40 area. Okay, so certainly, eBay seems to, give us a pretty good positive price action, but you never know. You can't predict, anything, just some interpretation of some forward-looking statement to be a little bit negative or not as good to what the market consensus is, then they could ruin, no matter how good the price setup or price action is. So you just have to trade carefully if you're going to trade to earning. And, it's to me, it's just a crapshoot, So I basically, even though there's a lot of positive on eBay on the price action, I basically will be standing on the sideline to listen to the earning result and to see what the reaction is. And then I, if it's still favorable, then I, make a trade accordingly if I still interested in making a trade in eBay. But for now, so certainly, the market is pricing in it's somewhere around this, 54 and 49. Okay, then the big one to come for next week is Google. Right? Google is going to report after the close on Thursday. Okay, and you see that on Google right now, we're essentially still looking for this thing to trace up to this, bull pennant measure move somewhere around the 602 level. Okay, so with the even though it's kind of early to try to do a projection of what the market might be pricing in on Google, because Google doesn't report until Thursday, but right now the preliminary seems like it's pricing in plus or minus $27. Okay, and that puts it up on the upside 605 and on the downside 550. So you can see that 550 is somewhere near this this level here. We have this 547, 548, and then the 605 is pretty close to this major move. And here's that, I believe this is like 607. Okay, so there's that parameter now, is that it could come down to this support, or it could run itself up into this resistance, and who knows, it might even get up and put in a new high, essentially a new all-time high for Google, right? So that's the other thing. So right now, again, Google's been, holding up pretty well, and just be careful on the earning trade again. Right. So let's see. That's basically it for the earning tech stocks. So let's go and take a look at Apple. Apple, last week we were looking at that 95 pin, right? And you saw that there's a lot of action at that 95. It seemed like they were holding it at 95 until very near the end before they release it just a little bit. Right? So it kind of closed at 95.22. And the other thing is, right now we're still expecting Apple to go and tag that 100 mark. Essentially right now with this Fibonacci retracement, we got 127 extension on 101. Okay, and if we do a major move, on this little flag here, right? Let's say we're using this flag, right? So again, it's on this 80%, it puts it at 100 or that 101, right? For that as a flagpole. But if we use this as a flagpole, okay, again on the 100%, major move, it's also put it somewhere around in confluence of that 127 extension of 101. right? And if we remove that, then the other thing is if we take a look at the Fibonacci retracement extension here, again, this also places it at somewhere around this 101, right? So it seems like that 101 is a pretty good target, for Apple to converge on, right? Okay, because there are so many different ways of looking at the price action. It seems to be pointing to that 101. And then also in addition, if we look at the option, open interest for next week, the monthly expiration, you see Apple right here at this 100 strike on the call. We have 186, almost 187,000 contract out there, okay, on that 100 strike. And then the other one is that we have 113, 114,000 contract on the 9740, 9714 strike. So this 100 seems like a target there out there. That 100 is going to, most likely probably will get hit, next week. So let's keep an eye on that, and see what will happen, and will Apple actually hit that 100? Because again, we got to beware of the sentiment that it could create by these earning results from either Intel, SanDisk, eBay, Yahoo, and Google. They will all affect the sentiment on the tech sector. Okay. Now we know that in the past, or the recent past, that the Apple seems to move opposite to the majority of the tech stock. While like the Google or the Netflix and the Amazon go down, then Apple goes up, right? And vice versa. So we'll see, okay? But certainly that 100 level is one to watch next week, and then see will Apple be able to hit that 100 level. And we might hear a lot of talking head on the media be talking about Apple, getting back up above 100 and so forth and so forth. Okay. So the other one that we want to look at is, let me get my list back up. It's Netflix. Okay. Netflix kind of pulled back a little bit, right, last week. Okay. And right now let me take this out. Okay. We're still essentially looking for Netflix to continue to move higher after it, get itself consolidate a little bit. It came down and filled this little price gap here, right? Okay, there's a little gap here, and also this price gap here. So it kind of filled both of these price gap. And if it could hold itself up, if we take a look at here, closer look at the price action, you can see that's pretty much like a inside candle here. Let me check to make sure. The high of Friday is 44.13, and on Thursday is 44.19. So essentially, this candle is engulfing this little candle here. So basically, we want to look at watch this level, that 444.19. If we could get above that 444.19, then maybe we could watch a little bit of a price action move above this inside bar here, this engulfing candle, and come up and try to take out this 450 area, and maybe that will trigger a resumption on the upward movement to to the higher level here on this extension to be somewhere around 525. Okay, based on this particular Fibonacci retracement, because we already have a major move retracement on this particular price pattern here, right? This pattern here, and that projected up to 461, and last week it's kind of moved up to a 476. So it kind of completed this particular move here. Okay, and then the next one is Facebook. Facebook also got a little bit of a pullback, but it held above this particular trend line here, and also this level, this 62 level. We're talking about this 64, right? So it did book through that 64 on Tuesday, but then on Wednesday it bounced right back, and even on Thursday it came down and retested that again and bounced right back. So it seems like it is holding above that 64, and right now it might be just kind of making a little bit of consolidation and coming back up and try to break about this 67, 68. So if that's the case, if we could take that out, then most likely we're probably still targeting Facebook to come up and maybe tag that 72, 73 level up here. Because as long as it's holding up on this trend line here, this particular trend line, then this level and this possible high here is still in play. Okay. Then on Amazon, Amazon was another case of getting pinned on the, before the, on Thursday we were talking about, somewhere around 340, right? Then on pre-market, I saw Amazon is already up $5 on pre-market, on the first trade or so. Okay, so you can see that the money is already setting it up to push it up to that 340. Because remember, it was close down here, somewhere around 320 something, 328, 329. Okay, the day before, and they were pushing it up. So when they gap it up, on the opening, a lot along basically end up, trying to chase this thing in, chase that up, and also throughout the day, watching the trading volume on Amazon, you can see that, slowly, from one level to the next level, it's over 10,000 initially, on the 340, as it push up to that 340, then, the volume increases on the 340, 250, to over 10,000, 12,000 as that go, get increased up, and then they push up the 345 to close to 10,000. So you can see that the money is pushing that stock up, okay, and the volume is pushing it up because, the market maker have to go and do the delta hedge. So as more people buying these options, they have to go and buy the Amazon stock to, do that delta hedge, to be delta neutral. Okay, so basically it's kind of pushing it up, and you can see that they were pinning that thing at 345, and then near the close they actually went above that. It was somewhere around the 346. So it's kind of interesting to watch some of these pinning stuff going on Friday. That's why I try to not to trade on Friday also. There's too many games being played. Okay, so right now, looking at Amazon, I wouldn't be surprised for it to see a little bit of a pullback and come back and test that 340 a little bit, before it make another move up. But definitely based on this particular major move pattern here, this, essentially we're talking about this inverted, sort of like a inverted head and shoulder pattern. And the major move is essentially bring it up to somewhere around this, 389, 390 level. Pretty close to this price gap here. So we'll probably see, Amazon work itself up. First you got to get up to this this level here, right, to break through into this price gap to somewhere around that 375. As soon as you get into that 375, then we'll probably be looking at Amazon or getting up to that 390. 394, and most likely that probably will happen when Amazon report its earning, right? So we'll see, because I think Amazon's earning is a couple of weeks from now. So it's within this time frame. So it might be setting itself up for that move. So we just kind of keep an eye on it. Then the other one is Twitter. Twitter is also kind of pulled back. And remember we were saying that as long as it could hold up this price gap, then this 47 is still in play. Okay, so right now it seems to be holding up that gap. Right, and also getting back up on this trend line here. So we just have to keep an eye to see is Twitter be able to hold this level and then slowly move itself back up, and then maybe take out this high and get up to that 47. Because here's the level that we want to key in on, 35.50. If it breaks below 35.50, then we have to go back and reassess. Okay. But right now, so far it's still holding up, and the 47 is still in play. And then the last one is Tesla. When we're talking about Tesla, it's also coming back and try to test this 220 level. And right now it seems to be holding at that 220 level right now. So maybe get a little bit of a consolidation around this level, and then maybe make another push up to this 244, 245 area. Okay, and then maybe get back up and try to take out the previous high, or retest it. And in addition to that, we also see, if we zoom in on this, price action, you can see there's this inside candle here. All right, so you might want to keep an eye on the, the high of this, the high low of this engulfing candle, right, for possible direction here. And if we break above this high, then maybe you could look at for some trigger somewhere around here for the resumption of, possible long, and play it back up at least to that level, and use this this low somewhere around here as a reference for setting up stops. Okay, so essentially want to see look for continuation of an upward move to take out this high here of this pivot high of 244, 245, and possibly make it back up here to this 265. Okay, so that's basically it for now, and hope you have a profitable trading week.